Our theme of the week, our word of the week from David White's Consolations is touch. And I was thinking back to when we lived in Westchester, when my two older boys were small, there was this wonderful nature center that we used to go to all the time. And it, it was very small. It wasn't like a big zoo or anything, but they had an indoor building where they had a lot of different creatures, toads and snakes and chinchillas and ferrets and cockroaches. And you could, the really amazing thing about this place is that you would go in and you could ask, there were always people, sort of in this little room where the animals were, these couple of rooms, and you could ask to hold any of the animals. They would take the animals out and the kids could like directly interact with them. And so before you were allowed to hold the animals, some of them the children were allowed to hold, some of them they weren't, but they had to have this little lesson in how to hold an animal. So they would give them like it was like a not memory foam, but like one of those squeezy balls, like the stress balls, right, that are kind of firm but squishy. And they would give them the ball and they would teach them how to hold an animal. And they would say, if you're not holding it firm enough, it could leap out and fall to the ground and get hurt. And if you're squeezing it too tight, then you could hurt it and it could get scared. And so they would have them hold this ball and show that they could hold the ball properly. And then they would be allowed to hold whatever animal they wanted to interact with. And so this was a really beautiful way. I have boys, and boys are just bulls in a china shop, especially little boys. Girls can be that way too, but I find that boys more than girls in my experience. And it was a really beautiful lesson because we would go into this room and we went all the time, and I could see that their bodies would sort of relax, and because they knew they had to be calm, they had to be sort of steady, and when they would be interacting with an animal, they had to be really careful. And it was a really beautiful way to learn how to interact with the world. So this idea of touch is it's the way that we engage with the world around us. So it's sort of on many levels, right? It's like the way that we actually touch perhaps someone else in our lives, or other creatures, maybe a pet or other things in the world. On the bigger level, it's like how we interact with the world. And this idea of gentle yet firm is a really balanced way of interacting with the world. And then even with ourselves, our yoga practice is really about how we're interacting with ourselves, how we are touching into ourselves. And generally, most of us fall heavier on one side than the other. Some of us tend to be that more softer, quieter, gentler. That's not the category I'm in. I tend to be on the other side of sort of firm and intense. And so always, it's just about knowing, like everything else, knowing where we fall on that spectrum so that we can find balance, because ultimately that's what our practices should lead us towards, is balance in our lives. So that's the invitation this morning, is in all ways, in all ways that we practice, in our bodies, in our minds, the way that we're talking to ourselves, the self-talk that we do, and in our hearts, the way that we interact with the bigger universe, to find that balance of gentleness and firmness in all that we're doing. So close your eyes. Sit up nice and tall. And just see where you're falling this morning on the spectrum of gentle or firm. Are you feeling sort of loose and lax and maybe even lethargic? Are you feeling a little tighter? Are you feeling like a little squeeze, perhaps? The first few moments of our practice is always just the taking inventory, because we know where we fall generally on the spectrum, but each day is a new adventure, is a new moment to connect and to understand and to deepen our awareness of ourselves. So as you sit up tall and lengthen your spine, just bring just enough firmness to the muscles that you're sitting tall, but not so much that you're tense. Feel the skin softly draping over the fullness of the inner body. And just let the breath begin to guide you inwards into the place inside that feels deeply connected, that is connected to the one source of being. When we connect into that source, it becomes a guide for us. So staying connected inwards, join your palms to your heart center. Let's begin together with one Om and then the invocation one time through, and we'll end with an Om. Take in a deep breath. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Gently bow your head to your heart. As you're ready, keep your eyes closed, but release your hands. You can lift your head. Take your right arm over to the right, lean into your right hand gently, and then start to circle with your left arm. So with the eyes closed, so that we are taking out that sense of sight so we can deepen our sense of touch. Feel the touch of the air on the skin as you're moving. Start to move the arm a little bit bigger. Maybe bring this torso into a cat and cow a little bit. Yeah. And just begin to become more sensitive to yourself. Touch is about sensitivity. So just begin to feel a little bit more deeply. Next time the arm is over the ear, hold it there. Stretch your left arm straight. And then bend your right elbow, lean to the right side. Feel the touch of the breath inside of you, expanding a little more into the left side body than the right. Inhale, come on up. And over to the other side. Take the left hand to the left, take the right arm, and just begin to sweep it around. Touch is also about the way we want to show up in the world for ourselves, for each other, for the earth itself, for the environment. And so in all ways, that gentle yet steady touch, the balance of those two elements can help to guide us. Bring the torso into it a little bit, so as you sweep the arm forward, round forward, as you sweep the arm back, arch back a little bit. And next time the arm is over the ear, hold it. Bend the left elbow, straighten the right arm, lean to the left. Breathe deeply into the right side body. Good, inhale and come up. Come over to the right again, and then we're gonna go to this pattern again. You're gonna take your left hand across your body to the back of your right shoulder. Then pull your right shoulder back into your hand. Instead of pulling the shoulder forward, use the hand there to remind that shoulder to go back. Look down towards your right hand for a moment, and even past the right hand, so you get a little stretch for the neck. Then on your next inhale, keep your right shoulder back. Take your left arm up, draw your left shoulder blade towards your right shoulder blade. Your left elbow can be a little bent, and you're looking up towards your left hand. Good, exhale, touch to the right. Inhale, open up to the left. And one more time, exhale, touch the right shoulder blade, bring the shoulder blade back, keep it back, open up, hold here for a breath, gaze up towards the left hand, draw your head, your ears back slightly, Then as you exhale, take your left hand to your right knee, slide your right hand behind your pelvis, take a little twist to the right, grounding the left side of your pelvis more firmly so you can turn more deeply. Inhale to center, take the left hand to the left. Wrap the right arm in front like you're hugging yourself. It's like a little half hug. Touch yourself in the way that you want to be touched in the world, like a gentle embrace. Draw the left shoulder blade back into the hand. Then inhale and open up, looking right. Exhale, touch left, look down to the left. Inhale, open up. And one more, exhale, shoulder back. Keeping the shoulder back, draw the right shoulder blade to meet it, right elbow bent, look up to the right. Exhale, hand to the knee, slide the left hand behind you. Inhale to lengthen up. Exhale to revolve and turn. One more full round of breath, in and out. Inhale to release and face front. Okay, come to face the short side of your mat if you're not there already. So facing so you have some room forward and back, mat behind you. Coming to Kapotasana, one more little shoulder opener here. So feet hip distance apart. Plant your hands so that your pointer fingers are parallel. Grip the finger pads down into the mat. And then take a deep full breath in, lengthening from hips to armpits. Pull the shoulders back, curl your head back. Lift your hips up, sweeping your tailbone up, and moving the bottom tips of the shoulder blades up into the heart as you press your head back. Exhale, lower your hips down. Inhale, lift your arms and your legs. Navasana. Breath here. On an exhale, release your feet and your hands. Inhale, pull the shoulders back, press your feet and your hands, lift your hips. Exhale, lower your hips. Inhale, Navasana, hold for a breath. Lift the legs a little higher, arms a little higher. Good, last one, exhale, plant the hands and the feet. Inhale, lift up, make sure your knees aren't coming forward of your toes. You want to be balanced, knees over ankles. Good, exhale, lower, and inhale, Navasana. Hold for a breath. All right, keep your arms lifted, cross your ankles, press your feet to the floor, reach forward, stand up. And if that didn't work out, just stand up some other way. There we go, all right, good. Come stand at the front edge of your mat. Stand in Tadasana. Firm your legs. Feel the touch of your feet on the earth. And let that touch represent the way that you wish to stand in the world today. How you wish to interact with your environment, with the earth. Join your palms together at your heart center. Stand up tall, draw the head of the arm bones back. On your next inhale, circle your arms, reach up tall, stretch long through the arms, exhale and fold from your hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, come halfway up, legs nice and strong, press your thighs back, stretch your heart forward, exhale and fold. Inhale, stretch your spine long, come all the way up, reach up, stretch tall. Exhale, hands into the heart. Inhale, circle up, reach up. Exhale, bow. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop, down face dog. Inhale, come through to plank. So the tendency here would be to over firm, right? To squeeze the muscles. So see if you can bring that sense of gentle toning to the arms, to the legs, to the abdominals, not so much that you're squeezing, so you're still touching the earth gently. Exhale, go back downward facing dog. One more time, inhale to plank, drawing skin to muscle to bone like a gentle embrace. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up face dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Look forward, step or hop, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up with your breath. Exhale, circle the hands back to the heart. Come back to your breath. Good. From here, we're coming to Utkatasana. So let's work just the legs first. Let's see if we can get really deep into the legs here. So with the hands on the hips or even in the crease of the groin, feet about sit bone distance apart or even inner big toes touching. Send your hips way back. Feel how that front of the thigh, the groin soften a little bit. There's the gentleness, the softness that we need. Then engage the tailbone, sweep the tailbone down, tone the pelvic floor and the belly firm. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, sit down a little deeper. Deepen that sense of gentleness. Inhale, sweep the tailbone forward and in. Take one more breath and pulse a little bit deeper. Spine stays straight and long. Good. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, release your hands. Inhale, reach up again. Exhale, Utkatasana. This time to twist. So deepen the groin, sweep the tailbone in, join your palms. Lengthen your spine and then hook right elbow to left knee. Look up to the left elbow. Slide your right knee and right hip back so the knees and hips are level. And then turn your belly deeply. And just be aware of the way that the elbow and the knee are touching. Create that gentle, firm pressure. Know what your tendency is. Find balance there and then stretch full into your pose, into your twist. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale, second side. Left elbow to right knee. Looking up to the right. Knees and hips level. Good. Let the elbow be just the gentlest pressure, just firm enough to keep you there. Not to crank or push or squeeze, just a gentle pressure so you can turn, full stretch. Good, inhale, come to center, reach up, stretch up. Good, exhale, fold forward. If you're not facing the front of your mat, turn yourself to face the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bend your knees, send your right leg back. Draw from your feet into your pelvis. Inhale, rise up. Good, stretch the back leg long, press the front knee forward, stretch up from your hips to your fingertips. Coming to twist here, right hand down, left arm up. Plant the hand gently on the earth, but firmly. Press evenly into the right hand, turn the belly to the left deeply. Now draw the right shoulder blade back. Remember your hand touching your shoulder, drop back like the hand is there, draw your left shoulder back. And then from here, Matsyasa, you're going to spin down your right foot. You can either step the left foot to the kickstand in front of the knee or stack the feet. Don't overdo it. It's not a squeeze or a clench, just a gentle embrace of the muscles to the bones. Good. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come through vinyasa. That's always optional. You can always take a rest when you need to. Bend your knees, step or hop Uttanasana. And then inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, step the left foot back. High lunge. Inhale, arms up. Good, stretch that back leg long. From the femur out through the heel. Stretch the front knee forward, lengthen through the spine. Exhale to twist. Left hand pressing. Strong, but soft on the earth. And then turn. Good, line up the shoulders here. Before you come into your Matsyasa, work the shoulders. So ground the left hand, draw the left shoulder blade to the back, draw the right shoulder blade down to meet it, then spin down your left foot. Again, you can come to kickstand like this, or you can stack. Spread your toes. Good. Feet, hands, gentle on the earth. Good, Tammy, that's a good option too. Good, exhale back, downward facing dog. You can rest here or you can flow through a vinyasa. Inhale and step your right foot up between your hands. Spin down your left heel. And come on up, warrior two. Okay. Alana, I'm looking at Alana with Ronan hanging off of her. Move your thigh bones back. Imagine that you have a small child behind you and you're moving your thigh bones back into your child's head. For only one of you that has a head. Then sweep your tailbone down, stretch long through your legs, out through the arms. Good, we're taking this to humble warrior. Lace the hands together. Stretch your arms straight back behind, and then bow. Head towards the knee. Hands towards the sky. This is a pose of reverence, of bowing. We're bowing to the earth, to all of creation, right? When we find that sense of reverence for ourselves, for the world, for everyone around us, then we can find that gentle and firm touch, the way that we need to exist. We're taking this to Kapotasana. Inhale, come halfway up, pivot on your right heel so that the feet are parallel, and then fold in between the legs. Inhale, lengthen your spine, lift your shoulder blades more fully to your back, then exhale and fold. Hands to the sky, neck long, head towards the earth. Exhale, release your hands. Walk back to the right side, step back to dog pose. Inhale, step your left foot forward. Come up to warrior two, second side. Good, steady your legs. Move the sit bones back and wide, drop your tailbone in, stretch your arms up. And an openness, a softness, a gentleness across the front of the groins, and then firmly anchor your tailbone down. Humble warrior. Switch the lace of the hands, other pinky finger on top, stretch your arms straight back behind, and then bow. Head towards the big toe. Arms towards the sky. Folding in. A deep reverent bow. With self-honoring, with self-love. We offer ourselves gentleness first. Pivot on your left heel. Fold to center, Prasarita Padottanasana. Legs nice and strong, hips in line with the ankles. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release. Downward facing dog. Good, hold or flow. Bend your knees. Step or hop forward, Uttanasana. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Reach up, stretch tall. And exhale, hands into the heart. Good, release your arms by your sides. And we're coming to warrior one, right foot back. We're gonna come from standing. Turn your foot out if it's appropriate for you and it's not torquing your knee. Turn your foot out 60 degrees and line up your heels. If you need to turn in more or widen the feet more for a knee or a hip, then of course do that. Pivot your hips to face forward. Bend the front knee. Inhale the arms up. Good. See if you can wrap the outer right hip around more fully by spinning that right thigh back more deeply. Now to warrior three, spin up your back heel, lean out over your front leg, and then float up, lifting from the inner thigh of the right leg, toes pointing down. Arms can be in whatever position. Good, full stretch here, legs straight and strong. We're gonna step back to Anjaneyasana. So bend your standing leg, take a big step back, and then drop the knee down. Good. Firm the legs, draw the legs in towards each other, and then find a baby back bend. So curl into the upper back. Lengthen as you move your tailbone down, lengthen up out of the pelvis. Draw the bottom tips of the shoulder blades forward, head of the arm bones back. Lean back. Good. Exhale. Release your hands and step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, come all the way up. Step back to warrior one, second side. So heels lined up if that's available to you. Back foot turned down about 60 degrees. Firm your legs. Bend your right knee. Bring the knee right into a square. Level the hips. Stretch your arms up. Good. So again, find that balance. Feel every muscle gently embracing in, like you're offering yourself a hug, like you're offering yourself a sweet embrace. Keep the muscles gentle but strong. Spin up your back heel. Lean forward. Float out, warrior three. Extend the legs straight. Arms straight. Even if they're back behind you, extend them. Big step back. Anusara. Touch the toes down. Slowly lower the back knee. Good. Curl back. Shoulders back first. Then head back. Reach back. Good. Exhale. Hands down. And step forward. Uttanasana. Inhale. Come on all the way up. Exhale. Fold back down. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale. Dog pose. All right, I'm going to do a quick stretch of the feet here in dog pose, the tops of the feet. So press your finger pads, your hands gently down, firm your arms, draw the shoulder blades to the spine, then flip your right foot, come onto the toenails of your right foot. Drag the foot forward, keep the leg as straight as you can so you're stretching the top of your foot. Good, stay in dog pose as best you can. You're going to want to go to plank because that's less, but if you can keep the hips high, you'll get a deeper stretch in the foot. Okay, switch feet. Flip the left foot. If you're getting crampy in the bottom of your foot, just press the toenails down into the floor a little more firmly. Hip up high, stretching the back of the leg, top of the foot. Good, and then exhale and flip that foot over. Inhale, take the right leg up, open up into dog split. Bend the knee, open the hip, lift the knee high up into the air. Now bring your weight into your right hand and press gently but firmly down into that hand and steady the arm, and then we're taking it to wild thing right from here. So begin to drop the right foot back behind you, spin down your left foot. Yeah, very good. Now you can add that little foot stretch here. You can take the toenails of your right foot to the floor behind you, flipping your foot over and lifting your hips a little higher. Good, exhale back, downward facing dog. Balance the weight on the hands. Inhale the left leg up. Bend the knee and open the hip. Lift the knee high to the air. Bring the weight to your right hand. Steady on that arm, yet still soft. And then flip it over. Right, left foot behind you. Curl the left arm back. If you want to flip your right or your left foot, you can. Bring your left toenails to the floor, more like a bow pose. Good. Exhale back. Downward facing dog. All right, bend your knees, step or hop, Uttanasana. And come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Release your hands. We're going to take baby dancer pose. We're working with how to hold the foot today with in some of the back bends that we're going to go into. So we're going to do baby dancer holding the inside edge of the foot. Imagine that you're holding, you can watch for a second. Imagine that you're cradling something in your hand. The analogy I've been using is like a little baby chick or some little baby animal, like at this nature center we used to go to. gentle but firm, palm up, and then the hand goes back with the palm up. Then the pinky side of the hand finds the inside of the foot. I'm going to come closer maybe so you can see better. So the pinky side of the hand to the inside of the foot. Then the hand pulls onto the top of the foot and hugs the foot in. We're going to do this on our bellies in a moment. So at the thigh stretch, then we'll kick the foot back into the hand and take baby dancer, okay? I just want you to think about that hand position. So stand in Tadasana. Get steady on your right leg. Bend up your left knee. Cradle whatever you're holding in your palm there. And then sweep that left hand behind you, bringing the pinky side of your hand to the inside of your foot. Hold the inside of the foot. Pull the knees in close together. Move the tailbone in. Then take standing thigh stretch. Spin your hand on top of your foot, hug your heel in. Move your shoulder back at the same time. Hold for a breath. Then take your right arm up, plug the right shoulder back, and then kick your foot into your hand. Your left foot back into your hand, and find baby dancer, leaning forward perhaps a little bit. Don't let the left knee wing out to the left as it wants to. Keep pulling into the center line. Good. Inhale, come back up. And release. Okay, good. Now, the caveat here is if you have a tight shoulder, if there's some tension in your shoulder and it's uncomfortable to hold the foot that way, of course, you can always hold the outside edge of the foot if you need to modify. All right, second side, stand steady on your left leg. Cradle with your right hand. Swing the right arm back behind you. Right pinky to the top of the, to the inside edge of the foot. And then spin your hand on top. Looks like that. You're hugging your heel in. Knee stretching down. Inhale, take your left arm up. Plug the left shoulder back. And then push the foot back into the hand. Lean out into your baby dancer. Good. Inhale, come up. And exhale and release. Okay. Come face the front of your mat if you're not there already. Inhale, stretch up tall. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, back to dog pose. We're going to meet together on the belly, so you can come to plank and then chaturanga and rest onto your belly for a moment. Rest your head in your hands. If your back is feeling a little tight or crunchy, just offer a gentle, sweet breath there, filling the back body with breath. Letting the breath touch inside with a sweetness, with a reverence. We're going to come to a side. I'm going to give a couple options here. We're going to come to through side-lying thigh stretch. So move to the right side of your mat, and then roll to your left side. So you're all the way towards the right side. So you have some mat behind you. And then reach with your right hand. You can hold the outside of your right foot for this one. You can bend up that bottom knee just for balance. Good. Then hug the heel in close. So another thigh stretch here. Move your inner right thigh back towards your inner heel a lot. Widen the inner thighs, both inner thighs away from each other. Then sweep the tailbone in super firm, nice and strong. You can stay here. If your knee feels safe and cooperative, you can take this whole thing to your back. So you'll hug your heel in, the heel comes outside the hip, and you fold into half virasana. Let me show this side just so you can see. So it's this. The heel outside the hip, the left leg out straight. Looks like we're good. And if that's not happy making for a knee, then you just stay in that sideline position. Okay, everybody looks really good. Now, spread the toes of your right foot, the toes, whether they're on the floor or you're holding it, spread the toes, hug your outer right ankle in towards the midline of the body. Spin the inner thighs more firmly to the earth, feeling that gentle softness in the front of the groins, and then firmly sweep the tailbone in, feeling a deeper stretch into that thigh, that right thigh. We're going to come out the way we came in. So if you're in Virasana, hold your foot, roll to your left side, and then release. Okay. Coming over to the other side, you can just roll to your other side. I'm just turning so that you can see. Actually, I'm going to stay this way so you can see the back view. I think that's better, actually. Okay. So we're laying onto the right side, bending up the left knee, holding the outer left foot. If you want, you can move towards the mat behind you, towards the left side of your mat. Spread out the toes, hug the knees close together. That left knee is going to want to lift up high, so pull it in. Now, if you did it on the first side, rotate to your back here. Some of you are there already. Yes. Heel outside the hip. So your knees, your thigh bones should be parallel to each other. If you're in Virasana, the thigh bones should be parallel. That left knee is not winging out to the left. The toes are spreading out, whichever position you're in. Toes spreading wide, hugging the outer left ankle to the inner. One more deep, full breath. You're feeling tension in your low back. Knit the front ribs together. Sweep your tailbone in more strongly. To come out, hold your left ankle. Roll back to your right side. And then all the way to your belly. And press back. Downward facing dog. Good. Pedal out your feet. You can shift your hips a little side to side. Bend your knees, whatever you need to do to care for your low back as we move into the back bend portion of the class. Okay, coming back down to the belly now, so you can come through plank and chaturanga. And then come up into Sphinx pose. So forearms out in front of you. Yeah, now watch for a moment. We're going to work on Kapotasana, one-legged frog pose. This is, I want to talk about the hand position to the foot. This is a hard one to get. So same thing we did standing. You're going to take your palm up. And then as the arm goes back behind, the palm is facing up. As you bend your knee, the pinky side of the hand is up. Yes. Then the hand wraps around to the top of the foot. The heel goes down, the elbow goes up. Now, if there's tightness in the shoulder, if that's too much for you, you can always just hold the outside edge of the foot. But if you can do it this way, you get the bonus shoulder stretch in addition to the thigh stretch. Good. So, Anusara, can you turn your hand around, or is that too much for your shoulder? You push your hand onto the top of your foot, so your thumb is on the inside. Yep, like that, but go below your toes. Make a little shelf. That's it, Kareem. You got it. Yep. Hug the heel in close. I can't see everybody's hand. Yeah, that's it, Eugenia. Yes, good, Josie. Tammy, that's good. Yep. Foot down, elbow up. Now spin your inner right thigh up more. Sweep your tailbone down strongly. Hug your heel in closer so you're feeling that stretch through the whole of the front of the right thigh. Plug your left shoulder back so the shoulders are facing straight ahead. Take one more breath. Good. And then exhale and release the foot. All right, I think everybody got it. If you have a question, just unmute and ask me. It looked like everybody had it. Everybody could see. Everybody sees hand, I could see you had it. All right, we're coming up to the second side. So prop up on your left elbow. Sorry, on your right elbow. Left hand, cupping your baby chick or whatever little animal you're cradling in your hand. Then as the arm goes back behind, the palm stays up. So you can turn a little bit left to find the foot. You can look back and just see what's happening back there. Then the hand spins to the top of the foot. The toes spread out, make a little shelf. Press the heel straight down. It's like Virasana, like where we just were. Yeah, that's good, Emma. Just make sure you're kicking your toes back into your hand. The toes should be pressing back, so you're creating balance in your ankle. That's it. Elbow up, heel down, spin your inner left thigh up more. Sweep your tailbone in stronger, plug your right shoulder back, take one more breath. Good, and then exhale. Release, just rest your head for a moment. You could do a little windshield wiper with the legs. Okay. bonus pose, full backbending. So this one we do both legs at the same time. So it's not Dhanurasana. Dhanurasana is when we hold the ankles and we kick the feet back behind us and we lift the chest. This pose, we hold the inner edges of the feet, we press them down. What we just did, we're just going to do both at the same time. And the chest tries to lift up. It's hard to do, but you try to lift the chest. But the heels go down towards the floor. All right, if you want to watch first, you can watch. So you come onto the belly, you firm the legs, you create that gentle softness in the front of the groin, then sweep the tail in firm. Hands go back behind, reaching for the inner feet. Then the hands spin on top. The hands press down, the heels press down, the elbows pull in, the chest tries to lift. That's about as high as I can get in this pose. Thighs are parallel to one another. Give it a go. Yeah, hold the insides of your feet if you can. I want to turn your hands. That's it. Elbows up, feet down. Yes, like that, like that. That's it. Good, Eugenia. Yes, Amisha. Good, Tammy. Yep. That's it, John. Bend your elbows a little, John. Push your heels down. Yeah, you won't be up as high. That's okay. Push your heels down. Yeah. Good, Karen. Yeah, that's good, Karen. I think your arms actually are backward. Turn your hands out the other way. Rotate your arms the other way. Yeah, but hold the inner edges. Yeah. Yeah, but turn your hands around. Thumbs up. There, that's it, that's it, that's it, that's it. Yes, good. You got it, you got it, you got it. That's it. Push the feet down. Okay, rest when you need to. Yeah, rest when you need to. Okay, good. It's a slightly awkward pose, but you do get a lot of bang for your buck in that pose. All right, press up to tabletop. You can do a few little pelvic tilts here. We have one more, maybe two more back bends to do. So don't crank too deep into a forward bend yet, but if you need to do a little TLC in the form of a little pelvic tilt for your pelvis, do that. Okay, we're coming to Ekapada Raja Kapotasana 2. So it's pigeon pose, but we don't fold that front leg in front. It's a lunge, and we hold the back foot. So I'm going to do it with a strap, because I can't reach my foot with my hand without the strap. I'll show you the pose so you can see how big of a loop you think you might need for yourself. Okay, I think this is going to be the best slide to show. All right, so we come into a low lunge. Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about the legs for a minute first, the space, the distance. So the knee in this pose is closed. So the heel pulls in close to the hip. Now, the heel stays on the floor. You're not up on your toes. You're not coming so far forward that the heel lifts. The heel is down and the knee is closed. So that's a pretty big, that's a closed knee. So if that's too much, of course, you'll ease back out of that. But if you can come in close with the knee, it's going to make the back bend a little easier. Then you're holding your strap like you're holding your baby chick. You're bending up the back knee and the loop, the foot goes into the loop. For some of you, this might be a lot. You might just be here. Then the elbow spins up, right? I pull the heel in, pull the left shoulder back, hand into the strap, and here's the pose. So as if I was holding my foot with both hands. It's a pretty deep back bend. You want that softness, the gentleness of the groins moving back, the firmness of the tail moving in, so you're not collapsing into your spine. Okay, so make as big of a loop as you think you need in your strap, and then step your right foot forward into a low lunge. You might want to pad the back knee. It's some pressure on that back knee. So if you need padding, put padding over the back knee. Okay, right foot forward, left knee on the mat. Now, find that deep lunge first. So bend deeply into your front knee. You have to be pretty long there. Then hold the strap in your left hand, palm up, and swing the arm back behind you. Put your left foot into the loop. That's it. And you're holding with your hand inside the loop just because it's more secure that way. Good. Then turn and face front. Spin your elbow up. Pull your shoulder blade down your back. That's it. Right knee is bending deeply. Then left arm up. Plug the left shoulder back. Reach back. Take the left hand into the strap. Curl the head and the shoulders back. Good. That's nice, Alana. Good. Yes, Tammy. Good. Pull your right heel towards your right sit bone. Press your right knee down. Lift your chest. Curl back a little more. Good. And exhale and release. Very good. switch sides. I will say, if you can make a loop big enough that you can have your hand and your foot inside the loop, it's much more secure than sort of hanging onto the tail, because the tail tends to slip. So if you can get, you might have to just make a bigger loop. If you can get your hand into the loop also, it's a little more secure. Okay, left foot forward. Sometimes we do hold the tail, it's depending on what we're doing. Okay, left foot forward, right knee behind you. Yep, I'm watching you guys here. Yes. Good, then hold that strap in your right hand. Swing the loop behind, take your foot into the loop, have your hand in the loop if you can. Yes, that's good, you guys. Pull the elbow in, spin it up. Pull your left heel towards your left groin as deeply as you can. As deeply as that knee will allow. Then pull the left shoulder blade onto the back, take your left hand to your strap, curl your head back into your arms. Lift your heart. Notice if you are in the category of too firm or too gentle, and apply the balancing action. Find that sweet balance moment, and then exhale slowly, release with care. Good. Come back to tabletop, and come back to downward facing dog. Good, pedal out in your dog pose. Okay, drop the knees down to the mat. I want to offer inversion option now. So my thought for the week was shoulder stand. We're doing so much shoulder opening. It's nice to do a shoulder stand when we've done so much heart opening, but you will need a blanket for that. The setup for the shoulder stand is at least one blanket. 2 or 3 is preferable. I only have one with me, so I've got one. But if you have 2, that's preferable. So you're maintaining the curve in the back of your neck. Now, if shoulder stand's not in your repertoire and you want to take legs up the wall, or you want to do a headstand or a handstand, you can always just come over to do that. If you want to take shoulder stand with me, just stay with me. Come lay onto your blanket. And when you lay down, your shoulders are in line with the top of the blanket. So not above. Your head is on the mat, your shoulders are on the blanket. Then you work like you do in bridge pose. You press the back of the arms down really firmly, press your head down, and then swing the legs up and over towards plank. Take your hands to your low back, snuggle your elbows in close, and then stretch one leg and the other leg up. Make sure the elbows are nice and close. Make sure you've got space between chest and chin. You can also do this in a bridge pose with a block under the hips. Good, that's good, Karen. You can do one leg up if you wanted to, just one leg at a time, or you can just stay where you are if you're more comfortable that way. Good, Eugenia. Anisha, that looks great. Tammy, good. Josie looks good. You want to make sure that your shoulders, the weight is on your shoulders. So this is shoulder stand, not neck stand. If you feel like you're in neck stand, come down. That's not a happy place for your neck to be. Should be shoulders pressing down firmly. Maintain that curve in your spine. Good. Some of you are there holding quite nicely. If you can straighten your body by bringing your heels back towards the back side of your body, lifting your hips more straight up over your shoulders, you can work towards a more straight. Yeah, good, Eugenia, that's it. Yes, Tammy. Eventually, we want a straight line from shoulders to hips to feet. All right, take 2 or 3 more breaths here. And to come out, you'll come through plow, lower the legs overhead, slowly, slowly with control. Good, and then you can release your hands behind you using your arms as brakes. Press your arms, your shoulders down. Use the abdominals as the brakes and just slowly lower back. Yeah. Great. Good, just stay on your back for a moment. Let's take the counter pose. If you're on a blanket, then slide the blanket out. So roll to the side, slide your blanket out, and then let's take counter pose, Matsyasana, while we're here. So bring your legs together, firm your legs, spin your inner thighs towards the mat, sweep your tailbone up. Then come up onto your elbows. And then just like we did at the start in Purvottanasana, push your elbows down into the mat and lift your chest, puff your chest up. Press your head back. Good, then lean back until the crown of your head comes to the floor, chest lifted. Crown of the head to the floor. If you need the support of your arms for your neck, just keep your arms underneath, gently pressing your head to the mat, press your arms, your legs. If you want to do a deeper version, you can lace your fingers into temple mudra, crossing, lacing the fingers, sending the pointers up towards the sky. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Good to come out if your arms are up. Press your arms back into the mat, lift your head, and then slowly roll back down onto your back. Bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. Cross your right ankle on top of your left knee. Flex your right foot, and then draw your left leg in. Good. As you're drawing that leg in, press the right knee away. Again, notice the way in which you are engaging with yourself. When we do these practices of pulling one body part with another body part, like pulling a knee or a foot with a hand, we can get aggressive, right? So find that gentle yet firm grip on your leg so that that right hip feels secure and safe enough to open up. Keep your ankle crossed, release your hands. So right ankle over left knee, heel toe your left foot over so it's behind your right sit bone. So over to the right a little bit, and then drop the right foot to the floor, sole of the foot to the floor, knee pointing up. Yeah. Stretch your right arm up by your right ear. Take your left hand, press your right thigh away. Lengthen through the right side of your body. Little hip stretch, little twist. Breathe deeply. And again, it's a gentle pressure with that hand. It's not a forcing or a shutting. Inhale, bring the legs back up. Switch the cross. Left ankle on top. Flex the left foot. Good. Pull the right leg in. Soft yet secure in your touch on your right leg. When we meet ourselves with that balance of gentleness and strength, the body finds the support that it needs, it feels trusting, and it opens up. The heart is the same. Exhale, release the right foot down, heel toe it over, right foot over behind your left sit bone, and then drop the feet over to the right. Stretch your left arm by your left ear, right palm to the left thigh, gently but firmly, pressing it away. Lengthening the left side. Breathing deeply. Good. Inhale, come on up. Uncross the legs. Pull your knees into your chest. Go ahead and make some circles or take a happy baby or any last stretch or movement. Your body needs to find balance. And then begin to stretch yourself out for Shavasana. Separate your feet. equidistant from the midline of the body. Separate your hands, equidistant. Feel the touch of your body on the earth. Feel the way that you can be held by the firmness of the earth beneath you, by the gentleness of breeze, air on skin. And soften into that holding. Let the whole body surrender and release. Let the mind move inside. The thoughts fade to the background. Let the awareness sink into the place inside that feels deeply connected to yourself, to the earth, to all beings. And rest there. Gently begin to deepen your move and stretch in any way that feels good to you. Slowly find your way to your side, rest on your side for a few breaths. Bring yourself to seated, sit up nice and tall. Join your hands together at your heart center, creating a gentle yet firm pressure touch as the hands touch each other. May we be gentle and strong with ourselves. May we be gentle and strong with those around us, with the earth, with all who we come in contact with. Let's end together by chanting one Om. Take in a deep breath. Om. Namaste. Thank you.